We are in the state of Virginia, and we've seen a lot of Virginia this week, actually. Amy was adamant we had to go to that Hokies game. And
starting your video off with lies.
As I told my wife, I don't really care that it was 2.5 hours from where we were supposed to be, the Hokies game. I just thought, listen.
And now we're also driving 50 minutes further away from
Actually, it's not. It's 5 hours and 40 minutes from there, for the most part, home. But where we're at, it's actually 5:20. Must be a different highway or something where we're coming from in Massanutten. Must be. So we talked a little bit about Massanutten this weekend. Beautiful place. It's a beautiful state, actually. This is the one thing I always say to Amy. I wanted to come down here. I would have been happy to stay in Ontario last night, but that wasn't possible. Again, the ups and downs of horse racing continue. I go under the wire today. Fair and square beat by Logan's filly, and she raced tremendously well to beat me. And it was no walk. You can't say, well, she wasn't sharp. Ooh, she got tired. 58 last quarter and 29 seconds on a half-mile track like Shenandoah is a hell of a mile. I would have to think that'd be pretty close to the track record. I don't know how fast you could buzz around there with a 2-year-old trotting filly, but man, oh man, Logan's filly looked tremendous, and Cherry's Girl looked good too. You always hate getting beat, especially with a favorite. It's a different kind of stress. When you're going on the track at 1-9, you're supposed to win. You switch from how do I win to how do I not get beat sometimes. And with me, I got in the 2-hole. I gave the leader an opportunity to cut me loose in the quarter. He didn't want to take that opportunity, so he stuffed me in the 2-hole. Then I had to move coming to the 5/8. I cleared him like that and drug Logan up into the race. And quite frankly, if you would have asked me, I in my mind when I got out down the backstretch, I'm thinking to myself, geez, I hope Logan got out. Around the last turn, I'm still thinking, I hope Logan get out. Halfway down the lane, I'm like, oh, I wish Logan did get out. But listen, if I'm going to get beat, I'm very happy to get beat by a kid like Logan. Great kid, young kid.
Are you hot?
You know what? No, yeah, I am a little hot, but I got this sweater on. I was going to take my coat off, and then how do I turn the air conditioning on in the seat part? Can you do that? And then I won't complain. No, thank you. So, Logan's a good kid. We don't have a lot of young kids in this game, unfortunately. And to see one of them win a race like that, that's a big deal. And you might say, oh, it's Virginia. It's $96,000. That's a big deal, especially for the people that own that filly, and especially for Logan. And to go out and perform well under that type of pressure is very, very important. So great job by Logan. A great job by Logan and his filly, Bobby Mack. And a great job by Cherry's Girl. She started off the year, the maturity of that filly, we talked about it in an earlier video. I talked about it all the latter part of the season, especially when she was in Delaware. The maturity of that filly would lead me to believe that the sky's the limit for her as a sophomore. She has turned into be just an absolute sweetheart to drive. And, I'm not upset at all. I want to win. I was supposed to win when we 1-9, but she was beat fair and she raced well. So congrats to Logan and his partners on the filly winning, and congrats to our partners too, because as I said, 24 grand's that's no chump change. We took $28,000 out of Virginia in 2 weeks, and that is a big deal. So congrats to everybody involved, both the winner and the runner-up. This week, speaking of runners-up, Degas was tremendous, which leads me to believe that maybe she has a chance in Corbin at the end of the season. Maybe she is going to do well in Corbin. So, again, two fillies that you weren't super high on Degas, and with fair reason. I still remember the day we trained her in like 252, and I came in, and she was relatively healthy. There was no thoughts that she was sick. And she came in off the track with her tongue hanging out of her mouth, just blowing like she was exhausted when everybody else really wasn't. And I said to myself, is this concerning? Because does this mean that she's got a shallow set of lungs? The horsemen will know what I'm talking about out there. You never know where a horse's ceiling is training down. Sometimes, you get these big lazy ones like Cherry's Girl, and then they get to the races and they just go. Really, most of Cherry's Girl's defeats this year were simply because she was immature. Like today, if she'd have put in an honest effort from halfway down the lane to the wire, she probably hangs on. That's partially my fault too. I never really got on her
That's
until.
why the Murphy blind on the inside.
No, she had it on the inside.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, but I didn't really get on her until we came out of the turn because I didn't feel any danger from behind me until it was imminent, right? Addie Bear, don't do that, please. Until it was absolutely imminent. So I guess part of that's on me, but I don't think I could have climbed up and bit her in the ear, and I don't think she was going to hold off Logan's filly. Filly raced good. His filly hunted her down and beat her fair and square at the wire, and man, I thought both fillies raced really well. So Degas was another one of those horses where, is she going to be good? Is she not? And then every week she got a little bit better. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Those two fillies I just referenced, I'll take a barn full of those fillies. They do everything very good. They're not exceptional. Neither one of them are going to be in the Breeders' Crown at 3. You know, they're not going to light up the board and put gigantic, zeros on their card, but they're going to do good every week. And I guarantee you, both those fillies, at some point between the 3-year-old season, between now and when you put them away, you're going to look at the program and say, wow, I can't believe this horse made this. Because it's just one of those horses that I think they'll continue to they'll just continue to pile it up. Much like Time did, right? At 3, people just didn't pay attention to him because he was always a long shot. Then you look at the end of the year and the horse got a fortune made. So I'm excited about those two fillies in particular at 3. Winter Soldier raced good, man. I would happily take all the Winter Soldiers you could turn our way. Here's a horse that never raced on a half-mile track in his life and has looked like a half-mile track specialist since the day we got him. Beat fair and square the other day, but raced very, very good. Again, looks like money, kind of got beat up a little bit. Tyler felt bad after the race, and I said, that one's on me. I put Tyler in a bad spot. I knew there was a chance that could happen, and it did. Had I put Ronnie on the horse, no disrespect to Tyler, but it just comes down to respect on the track. Had I put Ronnie on the horse, they would have, twisted themselves over backwards to cut Ronnie loose with the second favorite. And instead, poor Tyler gets rimmed the whole way. In response to that, for Tyler and for kids out there, that's paying your dues too, right? Ronnie, they didn't let him go. They wouldn't let him go because his name is Ronnie Ware. It's because what he represents on the track. And that was on display last night in the Breeders' Crown. What a night of sports last night. We went a different way. Our family completely pivoted from what we thought we would be doing to what we are actually doing on Breeders' Crown final night. We really thought this was the first year. Amy said it. We were talking about how the horses are getting better, and the horses are getting better, the horses are getting better in our barn. The results are better. The competition is stronger. And that came to a head with 2 horses that had legitimate shots to compete and win in the Breeders' Crown. And unfortunately, like it happens to a lot of people, I'm not going to say the name because it would be rude, but I was talking to somebody today that works for a fairly prominent trainer. And I said, how'd you guys do last night? Oh, we had nothing in last night. I said, any luck tonight? And he goes, actually, we have nothing in the Breeders' Crown at all. And that's a guy or a person that is usually fairly well represented at the end of the season, and they have nothing in a lot of the last 2 days. So it's the Breeders' Crown. It's not easy to get there. It's like my father, when you look at how dominant the Los Angeles Dodgers were all year, and then in the NLCS, you're like, geez, I wonder if Milwaukee can beat them, and then they blow them out of the water, and you're like, wow. As much as I cheer for the Jays, in the back of my mind, I'm like, geez, I hope they can keep pace. I hope they have a good showing. And then to put on the performance I did last night was, we have clients. Rob was at the game. Cohen and Matt were at the game. And I didn't hear from you or Cohen or Matt, but I know I heard from Rob. This is a guy that's been to a lot of major sporting events, like all the big ones. I'm sure he's been to the Super Bowl. I'm sure he's been to everything. And he said, what I witnessed last night, I've never seen in my life, ever. It was the most electric atmosphere I've ever been to in my entire life on planet Earth. And we're in another, like you were saying, we're watching the Blue Jays and Dodgers on our phones because we're at the Virginia Tech game last night. When would you have just said to me at the start of the year, hey, you guys are going to go to a Hokies game this year? 1, I don't know what a Hokie is. 2, I don't know where they're at. 3, I think you're crazy. Yeah. And because we didn't make the Breeders' Crown, I pivoted. Rather than rushing around to get from Ontario to Virginia on Saturday, I'm going to take... Yeah, what?
Ohio to Virginia.
You're right, but you're right, you little turkey. But at the end,
Are you eavesdropping?
you are eavesdropping, you little turkey. But Addie, we would have been in Toronto if Perfect Thought and the other filly had made the final, Jailbird Jog. we all would have been in Ontario, and then I would have had to fly to Virginia. And if I had to fly to Virginia again, that means you guys couldn't come. Did you have fun last night?
Yes.
Yeah, see, it was a lot of fun. And, you know, I said to Amy, I did miscalculate the math and the geography in Virginia. I did, but I don't regret it in the least. Had I seen that, would I have still gone to the Hokies game? Would I have still chosen to drive 2 hours and 10 minutes from the Hokies game to the place we were staying? I don't know. I bet you you would have vetoed it, I think.
Absolutely.
If I had told you
I believe
we were driving 6 hours to watch the Virginia
Well, when you
Hokies
told
play.
me last week about it being like you made it sound like it was close by.
In my
I
mind, it was
like,
just around the
okay,
corner.
Yeah, cool.
In my mind, it was just
and
around.
stupid me for believing you. Actually, I should
But was
know
it worth
better.
it?
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So it was a great experience. If you've never been to a college football game, we've been to a couple of NFL games, and you expect that atmosphere, right? This is professional sports. This is a whole different ball game. The atmosphere at a college football game is totally different. It was a lot of fun. So what's wrong, sweetheart?
It was packed with people.
It was packed with people. I'm gonna say, and it was a chilly night last night. We busted out the stable toques last night. Most of us did,
I like this here.
and it was about there'd be about 50,000 people there. I'm guessing,
I have no idea.
because I think the stadium holds 80, and it was fairly
You
full.
know the stadium holds 80.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I know
it's almost
somebody-
full. It was-
Yeah. I can tell you. Ollie will know. Ollie. He's watching something. Can you Google what's that stadium hold? Virginia Tech Stadium?
Probably like 100,000.
No. I think,
What is it?
I would say 60.
so it was mostly full last night.
65,630.
So if it holds 65,000 plus, there was 40 there last night.
Yeah.
40,000 people there last night, and it was a lot of fun. Just one of those things that you just crept up on you. You had an opportunity to do, and you did it. I didn't look at it.
Yeah, you did. That
Did
one
I look
you
at that
did.
one? I just raced. I got rocks on my ears. So we went from the Hokies game, and we left a little bit early, which kind of sucked in the long run.
I know.
They won in double overtime. They were down 20-10 when we left.
We would have stayed if we weren't so far away.
Yeah, that's it. Is that the drive from the Virginia Tech Stadium, Lane Stadium, to where we were staying?
hours.
No, it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. In between, so it did turn out there was a good ending to this debacle. In between Lane Stadium, where the Virginia Tech Hokies play, and Shenandoah Downs, directly in between, was a resort. I'd never heard of the place, Massanutten. This is an incredibly big complex. The drive from the front desk to our so it's one of these ones where you stay in like a little townhouse, right? They're not rooms, they're spread everywhere. We stayed at one last year in Florida. 2 years ago, we took the kids to Florida. The drive from the front desk to our, what are they, like a villa or something?
Condo, yeah.
Condo. It was 13 minutes was the drive, and it's fairly sprawling. The kids they wanted to go to the water park, and they have a water park. It didn't open until 11:30, but we're going to be back shortly after 3. That's all right. We're going to be there for like 3.5, 4 hours, babe.
3 hours, you said.
Lots of time, honey. Where did I put my swim trunks? Right there. Yep.
I'm wearing mine.
Okay, you're wearing yours. You're going with the all-day swim trunk
Yeah, she's
option?
like, I can't go to the bathroom. I said, why? I'm wearing my swimsuit.
Oh my God. So,
I didn't have to go.
listen, it's just one of those things where I do my best, not just for you, but for our family also. We were bummed out that we didn't make it into the Breeders' Crown, and I was still bummed out that I didn't get to hang out with Daniel and Sandy today. That really bothered me. My dad is up, but it just as I said to Daniel, I'm really sorry, but when it comes to family, how many times am I going to take my kids to a college football game? Maybe lots. I know, but I've never gone before, and I just tried my best to turn what turned into be what could have turned into be a crappy weekend into a pretty fun adventure for us. So it wasn't perfect. We were second. We didn't win in Virginia, but she raced tremendously well. And this Massanutten resort is, man, it's. I wish we would have been staying here for 3 or 4 days. It's really nice. It's more of a ski resort, but no, you have school. You have school on Monday. But it's more of a ski resort, but they also have like zip lining and hiking and go-karts and golf. It's a really cool place. So no regrets as we head back towards Massanutten. The rest of the week, kind of ho-hum, right? 3 Point Blue Chip, I told you guys he's sitting on a win. He is. He just can't beat Good Feeling to Know. Like, that's an open trotter. And especially when he gets over the half slow, that just makes it really hard to beat everybody else. So he was a beaten fifth, but he is there. He's getting there. He's there right now. Manhattan Money, that was his last start. Up a class. First over, he's kind of a big lobster. He just kind of moves him first over and he hangs out. Then he was a fairly beaten sixth. But that horse can get around any size track and will do somebody some good. As we are bringing in some fresh blood this week, we're kind of moving out some of the horses that have been here all year long, longer for him. And Manhattan Money was one of those. Gorgeous Package, we talked about being in bad draws or bad classes. And, I had somebody call me about Time Is On My Side being scratched tonight. And I said, listen, if the horse isn't, first off, the horse has to be 105%. We're shipping 6 hours to race him from the 10 hole. He has to be 105% or there's no point in racing him. And he wasn't. And I said, listen, there's give and take with that. I understand the racetrack's position. I would be angry too if I was racetrack management. But put yourself in my position. You just race Gorgeous Package about 7,000 classes over her head. And if that's where Mohawk Woodbine want to put her, she's not going to stay there. I'm happy to send horses and buy horses for Mohawk. It's where we're from. It's where it all began. And I'm going to continue to do that. No, it's the next one. I was wondering that. But, as I said, there has to be some give and take there too. I'm sorry, I wasn't going to send, and this is up to Tim. I'm in Virginia. Tim said the horse wasn't 100%. He shouldn't go. Gorgeous Package, sure, I didn't want to race her over her head, but she needed a race, she needed to be tight, and hopefully she gets in better next week. If she doesn't, she won't be staying in Ontario, I can guarantee you that. And this is part and parcel to the request. I was going to say argument, but it wasn't really an argument. The request that I've made of Ontario, and especially Woodbine Mohawk Park for 12 years, since it was Mohawk, since it was a lot of things, is to have a running tally of who's available to race in Ontario. It would make the race office's job easy because they'd be able to make real-time condition sheets for their cards coming up. In a day and age when you have AI and programs that can do that sort of thing, this isn't Space Odyssey. This is just normal, everyday work week stuff now. You could formulate a proper real-time condition sheet for your horses that are there, and I would know which ones I should have in Ontario. And quite frankly, I would know which ones I should be getting for Ontario. But I can't do that right now because that information isn't out there. So if there's anybody out there watching that has anything to do with the programming in that regard, it's still the argument I've been making, the comments I've been making for 12 years are still accurate today. We need to know what horses are needed in Ontario. If I knew that, maybe Gorgeous Package wouldn't be there right now, but others would be, and I can guarantee you that. So, the rest of our weekend kind of soft. The highlight of our entire week, quite frankly, was a bunch of seconds. A second with Degas, a second with Winter Soldier, a third with Woodmere Betcha, and a second today with our girl, Cherry's Girl. Sunday, tomorrow night, I'm going to race Foxy Seaside. A couple of my partners had messaged me this week saying, hey, one, are we going to sell Foxy Seaside? Well, we tried to.
No.
The offer for Foxy Seaside was soundly rejected. I have no interest in selling her for $13,000. And the other comment was, can we not race her in Ontario or Dayton? Well, I'll be as blunt as I can and as fair as I can to everybody. Foxy Seaside's not a better horse than Gorgeous Package, and Gorgeous Package is struggling. May I help you?
What is a COFFEE spell?
Oh, that's a good question. What's it sound like? I was to say that's coffee.
Coffee?
That's right. Krispy Kreme, donuts, and coffee. I don't know the last time I actually saw a Krispy Kreme standalone.
There's one in...
Where? I don't know. I don't know where there's one.
Where have we seen one?
Are we getting Starbucks again?
I didn't get it.
Well, we're in Harrisonburg.
I'm good.
It's right
Daddy,
here.
when-
We never got one to begin with.
I know,
We got a
you
coffee
got
from.
I actually like that.
What was it called?
I don't know.
It's a chain.
Brucey's or
No, it's right here.
there.
It's a chain coffee place. I've never seen it. I'm going to say something you're not going to believe. I'm going to say it. the latte was actually better than Starbucks.
7 Brew.
It's called 7 Brew drive-through coffee. It's packed all the time. 7 Brew. I'm getting one. 7 Brew drive-through coffee. Shh, you be quiet.
You're being very patient.
Do you want me just to not go? All right, I don't have to go. If you want to just go swimming, that's fine. I don't need one. It's not the end of the world. Anyway, they're all over the place. I don't know if they're close to you. Maybe you've driven by one, but I can vouch for them. That's all right. The iced latte was tremendous. So Foxy Seaside, she's not good enough right now to go to Mohawk. And quite frankly, I didn't think she was good enough to race in Dayton. Now, the Fillies and Mares classes are a little softer in Dayton, so maybe that will change in the near future. But to answer the number one question bluntly, no, I have zero interest in selling Foxy Seaside yet. And 2, not to Mohawk, to Dayton, maybe, possibly. We'll see as the fall into the winter progresses. But she is racing tomorrow night, and then Monday we continue. I was a little miffed that we sent Spitfire Overseas down there to start in the bottom class and make his way up through the classes. Instead, he won the second from the bottom class, and then they put him in the open. But that's, when you go to places like that, they're going to put you where you're not going to be 1 to 5, where you're not going to be 1 to 9, and they don't really care which classes you fit. It's where they think you should go. And you're not going to pull one over on old Kevin Mack, I can tell you that. I've only known him very briefly. Seems like a fairly sharp old bugger, and he's the race secretary at Corbin. So Spitfire Overseas is drawing the rail in the open. I suspect if he doesn't win on Monday, he can drop into
Was that handicapped?
Yeah, it actually is handicapped.
Yeah.
He had the rail. You're right, it is handicapped. Memento Mori is in again. He's 5-2, picked to win. Missed a week, though. Allure is in to go again, 7-2. Greatest Ending is back in to go, 5-1. He'll be good this week. And Winter Soldier, again, 3-1. He's down in class this week. Tuesday, we have Arrowhead Hanover, 20-1. He draws the 9-hole. Are you kidding me? This horse is the worst drawing horse I've ever seen in my entire life. One of our horses, he always draws bad. Always. He's got the 9-hole this week. Well, for my partners, Chris and Greg, listen, you know what's going to happen. He's not going to be able to leave hard with them. You just can't leave. It's not a staggered gate, and you can't get them out of the gate fast enough from the 9-hole. You're going to have to take what we're given yet again this week, which is getting extremely frustrating to me. Trosa is here. He's 3-1. They may want to take a very... Trofa? Trofa is Trosa. That is Daniel's horse, and he is taking a dramatic drop in class. And 3-1, he's a boy. Shh. He's a boy. He's taking a fairly large plummet in class, so he should probably be in a good spot. Blue Ventura is also racing. Oh, I do have an update. They told me Blue Ventura, they were going to do ankles on him. He had a little snot in his nose today, and Mike said, listen, here's the thing. He probably should have his ankles done. I don't want to do any work on him if he's a little bit under the weather. I would recommend we scratch the horse this week. Do the...
Daddy.
Daddy Bear. Scratch the horse this week. Do a little work on him and race him the following week. And I think all things considered, what did he draw this week? Oh, he drew the 8-hole. So that's not going to be a hard thing to do. And then we have Legal Scholar Racing, another one of our newest purchases. He is 5-1 in the series. And then that will do it for Tuesday. Wednesday, we have a couple horses in also. So with that, what about you? How was your week this week?
Fine.
No, you're not allowed to use one-word answers. What was your highlight of the week? Ooh.
A highlight.
Toronto Blue Jays winning. They're so good.
I was in a football game.
The football game was your highlight of the week, Addie Bear?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You liked it? Do you want to give everybody the cheer one more time? I know you're dying to.
H-O-K-I-E-S. Hockey!
So we did have a lot of fun in Virginia this week. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. What about you? What was your highlight? Come on. You had a lot of things going on. You're back jogging now. Anybody you like going with every day? Like every day, that's you.
I haven't I've just been going with whoever's ready. I'm not going.
But is there any that you've gone with? You're like,
Yeah,
I
I like the Mickey Cool.
Dad, do you
Really?
know where we're
Yeah,
going?
which one?
Barcelona Mickey.
Barcelona Mickey.
Yeah.
Really?
He-
Okay.
Dad, do you know
I'm
where we're
surprised.
going?
Yes. Shh.
Yes, I have.
Barcelona Mickey. Anybody else?
I like Eski.
Esky, yes.
And my other favorite one that I jogged was actually Money's Tied Up.
Oh, yeah.
She's sweet.
Oh, I jogged her the first day.
Yeah.
All she does is trot.
Yeah, she's
That is
very
a Glary
polite.
M's
She's a
international
good
money.
girl.
She is. That's the one with the big giant white face, Addie.
Oh, yeah.
That is a Glary M's baby. So it's baby season. Sales season is almost over. Steak season just ended for the most part. It is baby season, and very soon all our videos are going to be dominated by who did what in what week. We'll bring you some more videos in the next couple of weeks about the horses. I am excited about Harrisburg. I'm excited about everything going on, and I'm happy. It's a good week. Very, very happy. Are you happy?
Yeah.
What would you like? Anything you want to see happen towards the end of the year? You want to tell anybody maybe what you're looking to do, what you're looking for at Harrisburg? You and I have talked about it multiple times.
What we're looking for?
Yeah, like, what are you looking for? Anything you're looking for?
Not really.
What about a Perfect Sting? Did you like Perfect Thought?
I don't want to fall into that trap.
Well,
Where-
here's the trap. There's nothing really to trap. There's Perfect Sting and Lazarus. Those are
Well,
the only.
if you're looking for New Jersey.
Well,
yes.
yeah, we have on our buckets. There's
But
a New
I feel
Jersey
like if
horse.
you're looking to buy a high-end pacer, I would steer away from.
No, we can't buy that. That's not on the table. If we're looking at a high-end pacer, a lot of people message me, a lot of conversations. Quite frankly, the high-end pacer, I have a couple of bulldogs I really like, which is interesting. There's always that Captain Treacherous angle, and then I'll be quite frank with everybody. I haven't had a whole lot of them, but one that we had.
I like Sweet Lou, and you never.
Oh no, there's
see-
two Sweet Lou's. There's a beautiful Sweet Lou in the sale, and there was two Stay Hungrys that I liked. And somebody said, I don't like Stay Hungry. I can't really refute that. What I will say is I've had one, and that was at Philly. That was tough as heck, and that was the one with the bad knees.
Oh,
Stay Special. Listen, if they come with that kind of engine and that kind of hurt, she wasn't a killer, but she wanted to be, and that's why we bred her. That's the kind of horse I want to see, and
Where is that baby?
she's just a weanling. She got kicked. Remember, she lost her eye. Of all things, I felt bad, but it's not the first. Well, Maneri's
So,
good. Philly only one eye.
We're missing.
It's
we're
a sweet
still
thing,
missing
or it's a love thing.
A homebred.
Which one?
I noticed the other day.
On the site? There's
No,
3
we're
homebreds.
missing one in the barn.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is. It's Muscle Chrome's filly. Hasn't come in from Midland Acres yet.
Yeah, that's what
the one
is it
by
Staff?
yes, Vinestaff isn't in yet, but we got to get her in. I'll talk to Jake this week when they head out to Harrisburg with Midland Acres. I'll ask him if they maybe drop that horse off on the way. So that's what we went through this week. So you like Barcelona Mickey? Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, I just jogged. I don't know how it worked out, but I literally
Perfectly
jogged
fine.
every day.
And that's just on the front shed row. If your horse, Amy didn't mention my horse. She only went with the horses in the
it's
front shed
really
row.
just where they are.
I like the Father Patrick.
I want to go with Frolic, and I want to go with
Frolic's a little warm. She got that tactical landing fire in her belly. She is. I'm gonna tell you right now, she can be a little warm.
the Caviar filly.
That's who I want to go with. That's the Father Patrick filly.
And
That's who I go with. I love her.
haven't gone with the Juju horse.
And Juju Me was sick. I went with her one time, and she was a little sick that day. All those horses are over the. What is going on here? Where is this lady going? Did she just arrive from somewhere?
Mom, how far are we?
Must have been a fender bender or something. Anyway, that's what's gone on in the barn this week. Obviously, super excited about the sports. Football's on Sunday. The Jays have been tremendous. I don't want to jinx them. I felt like the more I talked about them, they played a little flat. I'm not a jinx guy, but man, I'm super excited about this team. And, they talk about how a team can electrify a city, and you never really buy into it, right? You're like, yeah, sports are sports. And, you have a good time, you go and you eat a hot
That's not
dog.
true after we went to the Virginia game.
That was pretty cool. I'd never seen anything like that.
And their
And
record's not even that good.
no, there was that after last night. They were 3-5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but to see the Jays play, it's almost like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm really, really excited about this series, and can't wait to watch them tonight. So, if you're a Jays fan, it's a good time for us. If you're a Dodgers fan, still good baseball ahead. And for racing, it's full speed ahead from here on in. We're going to continue to acquire horses. We bought 4 horses over the last week. I was a backup. I was the underbidder on one today. Just thought it went for a little more than I was comfortable paying. And actually, I was trying to bid on the 6 Hour share, stallion share, And again, I thought maybe it just went a little higher than I thought it might. But we're trying. We're trying to fill up the rest of the barn. We've done a great job this week, and we'll continue to do a great job in Harrisburg. More discussions about the Harrisburg racehorse situation over the next week also. But for right now, we're off to Harrisburg. We are going to start filling up the buckets. If you are one of our clients, you're like, yeah, I'll get involved. Well, here, I'll tell you right now. There's 25 or 30 or 32 shares that are going to disappear out of 2, if not 3 of the buckets over the next few days. So food for thought. Keep that in mind as we head into Harrisburg. So with that, I am going to let you go. Everybody in the McDonald family had a great weekend, and that is not an easy thing to do considering what had taken place last week, not making the Breeders' Crown, me flying, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, flying to Virginia last week to turn all those lemons into the lemonade, which was a pretty fun trip to Virginia, is pretty cool. So, take care, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great, as I said, you stop, you turkey. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. I will talk to you all this week. Take care.